Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Putty and welcome back for another edition of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. We are here in August 2018 for the Battle of the Mid-Atlantic. We have a stacked show tonight. In our main event of the evening, Ernest Youngman defends his World's Heavyweight Championship against the Puerto Rican Power, the former World Heavyweight Champion. And also, the Mid-Atlantic Regional Heavyweight Championship is on the line as Island Boy Apollo defends against one half of the former Dynamite Express, Cameron Jones. Also tonight, a Coastal Zone tag team match between Devil May Care, the team of Acid and Stuntman, taking on American Elemental and Eric Lee, Americana, for the number one contendership. The winner of that Coastal Zone tag team match tonight will indeed face the Ring Generals at where it all begins again in October in the Charlotte Garden. She's announced as the venue. First time we're running the Charlotte Garden, was known as Dave's Home Away from Home. Very rowdy fans out there. So that's going to be a big 1,000-seater venue in October. Big show. Who will be competing for the tag team titles in October? Find out tonight in a Coastal Zone tag team match. Probably more to come. Scythe is advertised to be back tonight. Let's get rolling. We are in the Mackin Auditorium. We are here, ready to rumble, ready to go as we start off the show with Cameron Jones at the interview area saying, I was a tag team wrestler for 8 years of my career, the first 8 years of my career, and, I kept getting told every time I went backstage, every time I got a pat on the back, you're a great tag team wrestler. You're a tag team specialist. You're like a modern version of... I had the name, but Paul Steadfast, I think I was thinking of, or Robert Oxford, that's the guy I was thinking of. Like a modern version of Robert Oxford, and while I took that as a compliment, I thought I could do more. I thought I could be better. And sometimes I got a little stir-crazy. Sometimes I got in my head that I needed to rapidly advance, but I took my time and I made sure that I was a part of the greatest tag team in Mid-Atlantic wrestling history. And you know what? I have all the momentum. I am a specimen. I'm an athlete in the prime of my career. And when I get going, you cannot stop me. My momentum is unlike some of the... I cannot promo today. I just cannot promo today. My momentum is absolutely insane. And Island by Apollo, I think our styles mesh quite well. You like that fast-paced, that brawling style. And a lot of people, they try to slow you down. They try to wear you down. You're not going to get that from Cameron Jones. Because tonight... I'm going to take it to you. Tonight, I'm going to go full throttle. And tonight, I'm going to brawl with you just as badly as you brawl with me. And, I think I'm betting on myself. I've had a shot at this title before. But I don't think I've ever been as strong and as fast and as built as I am tonight. And, I don't have anything to lose because this is my last chance, probably, to prove to the world that I am more than just a tag team wrestler. The Architect comes out to the interview area and he's... that should be... I don't know why I said George Wolf. I'm still in 2016 mode. Architect comes out to the interview area and he says, having Ernest Youngman back has reminded me of watching him and feuding with him at the end of last year. Ernest is a great professional wrestler and probably one of the greatest full packages in the territories today. And there's some stuff he said to Hugh DeOsk at the end of last year that really stuck in my mind. These silly games, these gimmicks that we run with sometimes, they sometimes get in the way of what could be a genuinely great wrestler. I was trained by Sam Keith. I am one of the greatest technical wrestlers in Mid-Atlantic wrestling. But I walk around and I trounce around with this silly gimmick and this super villain-esque attitude. I'm the local celebrity, I'm the in-house A-lister. And it's true, I am. I'm a big name. You see my name up on the Mackin Auditorium, it's going to be a good show. Because the Architect always delivers. But I think it's time to shed that skin a little bit. I think it's time to really prove to the world who I really am. See, my name is Dewey Archer. And I am the Architect. And tonight, I got a match against Dean Waldorf, deadly Dean Waldorf. And I'm going to prove to the world that I'm not just fun and games. That I am one of the greatest technical wrestlers you've ever seen. It's time to get serious. And we open up the Coastal Zone Tag Team match with a good match between Acid and Eric Lee as Acid defeats the All-American boy by pinfall with an Acid Rain Bomb. And of course, and indeed, Devil May Care go 1-0 in the series. This is going to be different from the usual Coastal Zone Tag Team match in that all of the matches in the series are going to be held one after another. So we're moving into the second component, as American Elemental has a fantastic match with Stuntman and defeats him with an American Earthbreaker. Good stuff from these two. Leveling the series at 1-1 as we move into the finale of the series. Not the series as in, of the Coastal Zone Tag Team series, not, Maw. Oh, no, we don't. Sorry, my apologies. Instead, we go back to the interview area where the heavyweight champion of the world is standing there with his cocky attitude and his smiley demeanor, and he looks at Sweet Tabitha and he says, tonight is a big night for me. It is the first time I am defending my world's heavyweight championship right here in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. I get to fight Puerto Rican Power, a man who has taken down some of the biggest names in this industry. Men like Sam Strong, men like Dredd, men like Rip Cord, some of the greatest names in territorial American wrestling history. He has taken them down, but you know where he took them down? Puerto Rico. And I will not deny that in Puerto Rico, that man is unstoppable. He is unbeatable. He has the home field advantage like nobody does, but you know what? I take it back. He's not unbeatable. He is almost unbeatable. And you know what the almost is? It's the assassin of the squared circle. It's Ernest Youngman, because I went to Puerto Rico and I took down the monster. And I took down the Puerto Rican Power, and I claimed this giant piece of gold that I wear around my waist. This, the only thing in the wrestling world that says that you're number one. And you see, I am number one. I'm the wrestling machine. I'm the best there's ever been. And tonight, with no home field advantage, Puerto Rican Power, you ain't got no chance. Because tonight you're walking into my yard. You're walking into my house. You're walking into my hometown. Kind of. He looks around, he's like, kind of. And you're facing the world's best. The world's number one. The assassin of the squared circle, Ernest Youngman. And you better believe me, Puerto Rican Power, if you're a betting man, you'll go down to the bookies right now and you'll put your life savings on the assassin of the squared circle, because Puerto Rican Power, you got no chance. No chance, and you are a great wrestler, but tonight is not your night. Tonight is my night. And he winks at Sweet Tabitha and he walks off. As we move into the return of Scythe, he comes out with Vinny Cruz and he says, Vinny Cruz says, my monster has been unstoppable so far in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. But you know what? All that violence, all those beatings, that was Scythe in a good mood. Scythe got beat by George Wolf earlier this summer, and now Scythe isn't in such a good mood. So if you think the dominance of Scythe in his best mood was scary, just wait until you see him angry. And out comes George Wolf, flanked by Papa Dan, and a referee comes out, and it looks like they're about to start an impromptu match, and Bossman Brayfield stops and says, "Hold on a second, player. Hold on. We're not going to have this match unadvertised. You'll have your match. In fact, I want to make sure that the winner of that match is definitely the best. I want to make sure that you two monsters get an opportunity to fight it out in the most optimum environment. I want to make sure that you can slug it out and you can destroy the other man so badly that they are defeated. So in fact, next month at the Clash, George Wolf, you will face Scythe. And it's going to be a last man standing match. So there we go. We have both matches booked in for next month at the Clash. We have Sid Collier taking on the Mid-Atlantic Regional Heavyweight Champion for the title. Could see Sid Collier versus Cameron Jones next month, or we could see Sid Collier versus Island Boy Apollo. We'll find that out later tonight. That's our main event next month, but we also have a last man standing match between the Devil's favorite demon, Scythe, and, Vinny Cruz's favorite demon, Scythe, and also George Wolf, the big bad wolf, the unstoppable monster, Papa Dan's protege / mentor / friend. Big match next month as we move into the finale of the Coastal Zone Tag Team match to determine the number one contender for the tag titles at Where It All Begins Again. In a sensational match for MAW anyway, Devil May Care defeat Americana when Acid 2 defeated American Elemental by pinfall with a jump the shark, following interference from Kamikaze. So this is just a balls to the walls match. This is just two teams just throwing their bodies around. American Elemental gives in, he does his high flying. Eric Lee shows how much he can fly. There's just non-stop, quick-paced, indie-rific action. Brainbusters on the outside, moonsaults over the guardrails, massive, quick brawling, quick tempo, high flying. Great stuff from both guys. And then finally, Kamikaze comes out of nowhere and just fucking, I don't know, it's got to be something crazy. I imagine he just 450s out of nowhere to American Elemental and causes the win there for Devil May Care. So Kamikaze apparently not done with American Elemental, who did beat him a couple of months ago in a very violent match. I think there's no more angles on this show, so let's just go into the last three matches. Big stretch here. So we have a quick. Okay. I did try to stay true to form on this one and make it a technical match, but apparently the crowd were already rowdy, so they weren't too into it. But these two have a nice technical match. Dean tries to wear down the Architect, but Architect shows not only is he a good technical wrestler, he can escape Dean's technical wrestling. He's also fast. Dean can't really keep up. Like, Dean's a really good technical wrestler. Everything he's doing is painful. It's well executed. It's brutal, but his pace tends to be slow. He likes to set the pace. He likes to grind down an opponent. We've said it before. He likes to work a long match. That's why this match is so long. But towards the end, Dean is just too tired to keep up with the faster, escapist style of the Architect, the flashy style that we've seen from guys like Ernest Youngman. And in the end, the Architect, or maybe we should call him Dewey Archer, as he likes to be called, locks in a proton lock. And wins the match against Dean Waldorf as we move into our Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Regional Championship match. It is time. Cameron Jones wants to prove that he is a great singles competitor, former member of the greatest tag team, arguably, in the history of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, Dynamite Express, versus the Island Boy, one of the greatest singles competitors in the history of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, a two-time regional champion. Fast-paced, charismatic brawler versus fast-paced, charismatic brawler asshole. Who will win? Who is the asshole? Tell me in the comments, and let's find out. And in a decent match, Island Boy Apollo defeats Cameron Jones in 15 minutes and 20 seconds by pinfall with an Island Driver. Island Boy Apollo makes defense number 2 of his Mid-Atlantic Championship title. Now, this is a proper fucking Memphis-style match, kind of, but with much less hatred. But bell rings, brawl. Just punches. They end up getting a Island Boy clothesline Cameron over the top rope. There's no hatred in the punches, but they're good punches, you know what I mean? Like, it's not one of those Memphis style, I fucking hate you, you busted open within 5 minutes from the punches. It's just, that's all we really know how to do, so let's just fucking punch each other for a bit while the crowd goes wild. And the Island Boy clotheslines Cameron over the top rope. And it's at this point, about 5 minutes in, when Cameron heads to the outside, that Cameron realizes that, you know, he's got to take it to Island Boy. He can't just sit there and wrestle a normal match and just get his shots in to win this match. Island Boy's a really strong competitor. Not only is Island Boy a really strong competitor, but also it's just a big opportunity for Cameron. It's one of his only ones he's probably ever going to get here in MAW, and he cannot just sit there and take it. He cannot just waste this opportunity. And so when they get to the outside, Cameron just spears Island Boy through the barricade, just sending the barricade flying into the crowd or something, or the guardrail, sorry. And they just like brawl through the crowd. The referee's counting. He gets out the ring. He's like, guys, get back in the fucking ring. And Cameron's like, fuck, I should get back in the ring, because if I don't get back in the ring, I've wasted my opportunity. And so Cameron tries to drag Island Boy to the ring. Counts at 7. Counts at 8. He can't get Island Boy in the ring, so he rolls and breaks the count. Gets back. I was like, okay, I got more time. He doesn't, and then Island Boy uses that opportunity, of course, because Cameron's distracted by trying to break the count, to take it back to him. Now Island Boy's brawling. Now Island Boy's got those forearms. Island Boy's incensed. He's pissed off. That spear through the barricade fucking hurt. So he picks up, he fucking military presses Cameron Jones up above his head, slam onto the barricade, back crunching maneuver onto the barricade by Island Boy. And Island Boy tries to hit the Island Driver on the outside. Cameron fights out, gets back in the ring. Island Boy's about to get back in the ring, but Cameron just hits a moonsault off the apron. Just moonsaults to Island Boy. And they head back in the ring, 10 minutes on the clock. Both of them have taken their licks for sure. And they look at each other and they just double clothesline, double drop kick, double kicks, head in the corner, brawl, just a nice sprint to the end, and then finally Island Boy manages to lock in that Island Driver brainbuster and pick up the victory to retain his Mid-Atlantic Championship title. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for our main event of the evening. It is the world's heavyweight champion, the wrestling machine, the best there's ever been, the assassin of the squared circle. It is, of course, Ernest Youngman, MAW lad. You know, he took a 6-month hiatus at the start of 2017, and when he returned, it was Mid-Atlantic Wrestling that took that punt on him. He came back to MAW and he dominated. He was amazing. He was great. But he couldn't quite make it to the top. He got dominated by Scythe in the Ripcord Invitational semi-finals. And then he got beat in the finals by George Wolf. So he thought, I got screwed there. I didn't like that. So in February, he called out Scythe. He said, I want to beat you. I want revenge for that beatdown you gave me in the semi-finals. And he lost, fair and square, to Scythe. He found two guys here in MAW, in Scythe and George Wolf, that were genuinely better than him. So he went away. And he tried to fight. He tried to learn from the greatest in the territories. He went to California. He went to Canada. He went to New York. He went to Texas to watch the girls. He went to Washington State to watch the girls. He went to Canada again to watch the girls. He went down south to Mexico to watch the boys and the girls, but mainly Nicolas Lopez. He beat Nicolas Lopez in Mexico. Then he headed over to Puerto Rico and he said, I'm here. I've seen the best this territory has to offer and I've learned every second from it. But there was one man in Puerto Rico, a legend. The last gunslinger with 50 notches on his gun. Each more prestigious than the last. The man who took down the legends of the business. The giant Dread came to Puerto Rico, was slain. The all-star Sam Strong, he came to Puerto Rico, slain. Ripcord, one of the greatest technical wrestlers in this business, who Ernest Youngman probably resembles a young version of, went to Puerto Rico, slain. But Ernest Youngman wasn't going to be the 51st notch on that gun. He wasn't going to lose to the last gunslinger, because he'd picked up every little trick along the way. And he went to Puerto Rico, young, fresh, and one of the greatest technical wrestlers in the territories today. And he fought his heart out, and he won the heavyweight championship of the world, and he brought it here to Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. But now the monster is back, and the monster is here to get his championship back. Will he succeed? No. In About That at Great Wrestling on Good Heat, Ernest Youngman defeats Puerto Rican Power in 20 minutes and 17 seconds by submission with a crossface chicken wing. Ernest Youngman takes defense number 5 of his Confederation of the Territories World Heavyweight Championship. Start this match, Puerto Rican Power just big boot. Immediately bell rings, big boot. Ernest is down, selling hard, just like a hard loss, and suddenly we get flashbacks as Puerto Rican Power just puts Ernest in the corner, starts grinding his boot against his face, chops, forearms, nasty punches in the corner. We get flashbacks to January. We're seeing Puerto Rican Power destroy Ernest Youngman with brawling maneuvers, and we're getting flashbacks to Scythe in the semi-finals of the Ripcord Invitational 2018, just destroying Ernest Youngman. But this time is going to be different. And these flashbacks that Ernest is getting to, it triggers him. And he explodes. He explodes out of the corner with a lariat. He explodes, jumps off the rope, big drop kick. You know, Ernest Youngman, usually such a precise, such a technical, such a inch-by-inch wrestler. He's just exploding in a flurry of punches and kicks. And Puerto Rican Power is rocked, but he's not down. Oh no, he's not down. Puerto Rican Power is rocked, and Ernest, he targets that leg. Not with a grapple, not with a takedown, but with a drop kick. He just drop kicks that leg. Puerto Rican Power to one leg. Ernest comes behind him, rips that leg up into an ankle lock. Just ripping, pulling, and tearing at that leg. Just wants to destroy it. Just wants to hurt it. And he tries to, slow the Puerto Rican Power down. If he can't topple him, if he can't take him down, he's going to destroy one of his legs. And that's exactly what he does. He just takes a 5-minute dissection on that left leg. And then he realizes this isn't how I'm going to win the match. This is not how I'm going to win the match. So he bounces off the rope, tries to get in the chicken wing, thrown over the top rope. You're not going to lock in the chicken wing tonight. This is the Puerto Rican Power. He is huge. He is massive. Well over 6'5". You are not going to lock in that chicken wing. Puerto Rican Power is going to have you on him in the way that he wants. You're not going to get on him and lock in that chicken wing. That's not going to happen tonight. Thrown over the top rope. But Ernest is determined. on the apron, springboard drop kick, and Puerto Rican Power's like, why wouldn't you just stay down? You're so fucked. I fucked you up so much tonight already. Stay down. Just slaps Ernest in the face. Like, no, you're not going to get the better of me. Slaps him again. Ernest tries for that cross-face chicken wing, and Puerto Rican Power, instead of just throwing him over the top rope this time, reaches behind, grabs his neck, rips Ernest in front of him violently, choke slam. It's over. It's got to be over. We're 60 minutes into the match. He's been destroyed. Choke slam. That looked bad. 1-2. Ernest is still fighting. Ernest is still in this. Ernest will not give up. You know, this isn't Ernest's match. He hasn't been able to set the pace. He hasn't been able to work over any limb he so chooses. He hasn't even been able to lock in the crossface chicken wing. But he has not given up. He will not give up, and he winks at the crowd. He bounces off the ropes. Lariat. Puerto Rican Power doesn't care. Bounces off the rope. Lariat. Puerto Rican Power doesn't give a shit. He bounces off the rope again, and Puerto Rican Power this time bounces off the rope. Double lariat. Neither of them go down. And then Ernest bounces off the rope one more time. Big drop kick. Puerto Rican Power finally takes a bump, but rolls through, gets back on his feet, goes for the lariat. Ernest ducks. Crossface chicken wing finally locked in. And the Puerto Rican Power, like everybody else in the territories today, has no choice but to tap to the number one, the wrestling machine, the best there's ever been. It's Ernest Youngman, and he defends his world's heavyweight championship in a sensational main event here at the Battle of the Mid-Atlantic. Puerto Rican Power does not reclaim his heavyweight championship. Ernest Youngman is a worthy world's heavyweight champion, and he will not be dethroned so easily. Oh, I was worried about that show. It actually went surprisingly well. I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys did too. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. Check out the rest of the series. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you really enjoyed the episode and are feeling especially generous this evening, please go ahead and check out my Patreon. Link is in the description. If you want to hear me natter about random shit, or sometimes about the series, my link to my Twitter is also in the description. Also a place where you can check out if an episode's going up tonight or not, if it's not Saturday. If it's Saturday, there's an episode going up tonight. If it's not Saturday, there might be an episode going up tonight. Go ahead and check out my Twitter for that type of stuff. Aside from that, next episode is The Clash. I don't know, I feel like the end of that was really fun. I really enjoyed that, so I really do hope you guys did too. Next episode is The Clash. We have Island Boy Apollo taking on Sid Collier, who was the other member of the Dynamite Express. Sid Collier's never actually had a main event kind of singles championship shot. Cameron had that shot back in 2016 when he was unsure about that tag team thing. But Sid, this is his first time out there on his own. And Sid's had some problems as a singles guy in the past. What I mean by that is whenever he had to work singles as a part of the Dynamite Express, like whenever he would have to work singles against opponents and stuff, against tag team contenders and stuff, he would struggle. He has struggled in singles matches before. And the first big match singles, he's going out there against the champ, against Island Boy Apollo. It's going to be a big match for him to next show in the main event. But also on that show, we have a last man standing match, as Vinny Cruz's favorite demon, Scythe, is apparently in a bad mood, and is apparently going to be even more violent, even more dangerous than he was at the start of the year. He's taking on the 2018 Ripcord Invitational Challenge winner, George Wolf, who is on an incredible streak, still undefeated, I think, since the beginning of 2017, a year and a half winning streak, something over like 80 victories, 90 victories across all the territories. Just an insanely powerful and insanely successful individual. And they're both monsters. They're big dudes. I don't know if the ring can handle that much beef. But I guess hopefully we'll find out together. If you do decide to join me then, I'd be honored. And if you do, I will see you guys then. Have a good day, and peace out.